I'm Kate Pearson. I'm vicar of St Mary's Church in Marshalswick, which is a suburb of St Albans City itself. We're a classic suburban parish with a diverse makeup of income streams and backgrounds here in the area, and a diverse range of housing around as well. My congregation is fairly typical Church of England, so we're at the older end, although we have younger people starting to come in, which is wonderful. At St Mary's, we felt we needed to do a Giving Renewal Campaign, and like a lot of churches post-COVID, our finances were beginning to creak. We'd had a number of people who sadly had died and were no longer part of our congregation, our previous regular givers. What I really liked about our diocese form of Giving Renewal Campaign advice is it's really, really simple and straightforward, and suddenly my planning team went from going around in circles to just having a very, very clear strategy and focus as what they needed to do. We were really keen to change the tone of how Giving Renewal campaigns happen within parish. So one of the things we were really keen on was to make sure that we talked about vision and future and where the church was going. So when we set our target, which we set a target of 10%, it was very much within that in mind in terms of how will this money enable the mission and enable future growth and activity within this parish. And the other thing that was really important to us was that it wasn't dragged out for too long. So making sure that the campaign was all done within a month, launched at the beginning of September and ran for 4 weeks and then celebrated for the first week of October was really neat and worked very well. It just meant that there wasn't a sense of it just going on and on and on. So we had people that gave by the parish giving scheme, people that gave regularly through standing order or through our envelope scheme, and people that we call plate givers, so people who use our card machine or kind of pop a bit of cash in occasionally into the collection plate. A really helpful tip that we were given was to make our leaflets useful beyond the life of our campaign, so we still use those now. Different sorts of letters written to different sorts of givers. Each letter was a letter written personally from myself and included our regular giving leaflet and also a response card. And we asked people to complete the response card and to pop it into a box at the back of church. And the response card had a few options. You could either say that you were increasing your giving amount, or that you were sticking to the giving amount you'd already given, or that you had changed how you were giving. Encouraging people to think generally about their giving rather than just asking for more meant that our response rate was really high. So I sent out 72 letters to 72 households, and we have 42 response cards back. And on top of that, some really, really helpful conversation with some of our plate givers, as we call them, about why that worked for them and how they might ensure that they were doing that more regularly in the future. So a really healthy response. So at the same time of putting together our communications for the Giving Renewal Campaign, we also produced a leaflet on legacy giving, which complements and goes with the design of the regular giving leaflet. And within the letter, just a very, very gentle prompt for those people who might be thinking about writing their wills or thinking about letters of gift, to be able to just suggest that we have the information for them and we welcome those conversations. And there was on the response card a tick box for people who would like more information on legacy giving, for us to be able to get that information to them. We met our target successfully of getting just over 10% increase in regular giving to the church, which is really wonderful. And as well as that, we had a number of people who moved from standing order or envelope giving to the parish giving scheme, which was really significant. In many ways, the most positive outcome of the Giving Renewal Campaign wasn't the money, it was the changing culture in the church. The fact that we are now able to talk to each other about money much more openly and with a real generosity of listening to one another. I think the campaign's taken the fear factor out of being able to talk about giving and money within the wider congregation, and it's produced a real sort of generosity of conversation within the PCC as well, which I'm absolutely delighted with. it can always be done again. So if it goes well and the congregation respond warmly, then in future years you could always do a bolder and more elaborate Giving Renewal campaign. The Giving Renewal campaign has unlocked a conversation around generosity which goes far beyond money and looks at culture of change and welcome and inclusion. If we can be generous in all of our aspects of church life, then I think there's great hope for us here at St Mary's and beyond in the life of the diocese.